Today I'll walk you through how to color grade DJI Mini 5 Pro DLog-M footage in DaVinci Resolve from start to finish without any paid LUTs. Let's get straight into it. Here we are on DaVinci Resolve, and before we get into the color grading proper, we need to make sure that our color management settings is done the correct way. So first thing I'm going to do is come to this particular settings icon here, come to color management, and this is exactly what my settings are for the color space and transforms. Looking at it here, we have color science DaVinci Y RGB, we have timeline color space DaVinci Y Gamma Intermediate, then output color space I set it to Rec 709 Gamma 2.2. Instead of 2.4, I have it set to 2.2 here. The reason is that the video I'm going to be editing is going to go into YouTube, social media, which means that majority of the people that are going to be watching it are going to be watching it from phones and laptops. If you are going to be working on a project that specifically is for television, choose Gamma 2.4 instead for this particular output color space. You have to make sure that the color management on the timeline we are working on matches that of the whole DaVinci Resolve proper. So we have to come to the timeline we are working on here through timelines and then timeline settings, and we come to color. So from format here, we come to color, and when we come to color here, you're going to see that the exact same settings is what we have under color science, timeline color space, and output color space. So that is the first thing that you have to make sure that you do before you even get to the actual color grading. So once we have already done that, let's go to the color page. I already have these particular footages, so let's start. I already have one node here. I'm just going to press Alt S on my keyboard to bring up new node. I can as well right click here and go to add node and add serial node. I'm working on Windows, so the shortcut is Alt S. All right, now I'm going to go to effects and then type transform. What we are looking for is color space transform. I'm going to drag this to the first node, all right, and then select this one now, go back to effect again and drag this to the second node. Okay, so what we're going to do now is select this particular first node here. We want to make sure that the color management is done by DaVinci Resolve itself. It handles the color better, you get better results doing that. What we want to do here is we want to convert this particular footage from the normal DLog-M into DaVinci Wide Gamut and DaVinci Intermediate. That is a file that DaVinci Resolve will be able to understand and interpret better the way we want it to. So what I want to do here is other input color space. I'm going to type D on my keyboard to bring out the options faster, and we are going to choose DJI Gamut because that is what the color space is. All right, then next thing is I'm going to go to the next one. My computer is a bit slow. Input gamma. Instead of choosing DJI DLog, which is what so many people might want to do, DLog-M and DLog, they are not the same. Instead, what you are going to do is to choose Rec 709 under this place because DLog-M is closest to Rec 709. Then under output color space, we are choosing DaVinci Wide Gamut. Under output gamma, we are choosing DaVinci Intermediate. So we have converted this from this particular DJI type of file to a file that DaVinci Resolve will be able to interpret better in terms of the workings of the colors. The next thing we're going to do is to make things easier, just copy the parameters under this particular node and then select the second node and do Ctrl V. So we have copied everything that is here into this particular node. And from this particular color space transform, just click on swap and it's going to turn the whole thing the other way. But that's not the end of it. We still need to change some things. Under output color space, I'm going to choose Rec 709 here. Then under output gamma, I am going to choose Gamma 2.2. like I mentioned initially. So we've already done our color space transform. This is the before and then this is the after, the before and then the after. So now next thing we are going to do is let's build our node tree for color correction. I'm going to add 3 nodes, Alt S, Alt S, Alt S. First of all, before I proceed, let me rename this so that we're able to know exactly which node we are working on. Normally, if you want to rename each node, what you do is you right click on it and then go to node label. I've already customized my node label renaming to shortcut key N. So each time I select a particular node and I press N from my keyboard, you're just going to see the cursor blinking there. It just helps to save time. So we are writing DWG, which is DJI Gamut, and I'm renaming this one to CST, or even I can write CST Rec. So that is Rec 709. And then this one, I'll rename it to contrast, our exposure, and this is going to be our balance. Okay, this is where we are going to do our color correction. I always like to start from contrast, and what I would like to do on the contrast here is, first of all, I'm going to remove the saturation here. Contrast has to do with the bright areas and the dark areas, so I'm just removing the saturation entirely to help me make things easier. So once I've done that, I'm going to find the middle point here. I'll come to this shadow area and move this just slowly a bit, and move this slightly. You can also be monitoring your waveform parade here to see exactly what is happening. From what we have here so far, everything is looking good. If I pull this shadow all the way down, you see that it's already crushing onto the 0. So we don't want that. And you also see that the footage is looking very terrible. So I'm just going to do Ctrl Z. I'm going to bring back the saturation, and this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after. But you can also make further fine-tuning if you need to. So next thing I'm going to do is to work on the exposure. And if I move my cursor around, you are going to see the movements here, where exactly where my cursor is showing. And if you need to do that, what you need to do is to click on this particular display qualifier focus, so that you'll be seeing which part of your footage your cursor is at. It also helps you to know exactly which area is peaking, or which area is too underexposed. And from what we are looking at here, this particular footage looks good so far. Nothing is peaking beyond 90, and nothing is peaking onto the 0. It's just slightly below 10. So if I need to, I can always maybe lift it a little bit to add more light to it. And where I'm going to do that from is from the HDR, because this interprets the exposure closest to how the camera would interpret increasing or decreasing the exposure of your shot. So I'm going to pull up this expo section just so slightly. As I'm pulling it up, you can see that these parameters on this particular waveform is already moving onto the 90. I'm just going to leave it here. This is where we started from. This is where we are. This is where we started from. This is where we are. Next we are going to do here is to do the color balance. The color balance we are going to do here, nothing too fancy. It just depends on your choice. So do you want the footage to look very warm, or do you want it to look cooler? So if you look at this particular parade here, you can see that the red and the green are quite higher than the blue. What I will need to do first is I will right click here and then come to gamma and then change this to linear. The reason I'm doing this is to give DaVinci Resolve a better room of interpreting footage the best way that we want it to. So once I've done that, what I'm going to do is, since we know that what is happening is that it's a little bit going to the warm side, so we need to pull down slightly into the blues. And from what you can see, just watch what is happening there. They are all equal in height right now. So this is before and this is after. This is before and this is after. So remember, this is color work, so it always most times comes down to a question of choice. We have already succeeded in getting our footage from this place, which is where we did the color space transform, to this. So this is before the color correction, this is after the color correction. So next thing we are going to do right now is the color grading proper. And number one is going to be dependent on the actual shot that we are looking at and how we want that shot to look at the last stage. Number two, it's also going to be dependent on the lighting environment. So was this shot at night? Was this shot at midday? Was this shot early in the morning? All those things are going to influence how the final footage is going to look like. Let's go to the last note here and then add 2 more nodes. I will name this one to curves, okay? And you're going to see exactly what we were able to achieve with this just in few seconds or minutes. And then this one, I'm going to rename it look, okay? This is where I will build more personalized look into this particular footage, so it doesn't just look bland and something that's just straight out of the camera. On that particular look, first thing I would want to do is to come to HDR and then increase my saturation a little bit. And I didn't do it from this section because this particular HDR just happens to handle it a little bit better without cranking the colors and making the whole thing look weird. So I'm going to increase my saturation just slightly here, nothing too fancy. I just bring it to 0.15, and this is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. The changes are not too much, just something small. Now I'm going to come to primaries. Normally when you come to primaries, it's going to be in most likely in this particular colorway, so I'm going to choose log wheels. What I want to do here now is to move my shadow to the red area. I can use each of these sections to select exactly the color I want for each. So it's looking to green, and I'm going to pull down the green slightly. All right, so in order to get the look I'm going for, I'm also going to reduce So and this is what we have so far. And then what I'm going to do again is to come back to the highlights. Don't worry, it's looking weird now, but we'll get it to where we want it to. I'll come back to the highlights and then pull down on the highlights. I still don't like how it is looking, so I will use this to fine tune it. I will bring it to -10 for now. Then I'll just leave this one at 3. Let's remove blue from this entirely. We're taking it to the blue, you're going to see what is happening here. It's already introducing some weird colors on the highlight area. So I'm going to remove this entirely. Double click here to remove the blues entirely. And this is before, after, before, after. If I look here now, I have some weird colors coming in. So if I reduce the red here, it's becoming too greenish. I'll just leave it at 8. And then if I reduce the green just slightly, you see that it's now looking a little bit better than it was before. So this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after. Next thing we're going to do now is on the curves, selecting the curves node. I'm going to come to the curve here, and first place I'm going to go to is saturation. And what I want to work on first, this particular grain here is distracting, so I'm going to select any place on that grain, and you can see that it has already selected the section that the color is present at. So what I want to do is to reduce the saturation to bring lesser attention to this particular grain area. And if you look at it right now, this was the before, this was after, and if you see every other color is staying the same thing, that is the beauty of what you're doing here, because we're just selecting particular colors. So if you zoom in again slightly, you still see some other shades of green. Select it, you see that it's different place that's already selected. Before I push this down, I'm going to add another node so that it doesn't influence other parts of this footage. So I'll hold down my shift key on the keyboard and then select any place here, and when I pull down slightly, you will now see that the saturation is more or less down. So if you want to change the look of this green, we can also do that. If you select any place here, and that is changing the particular shade of this green, that on the hue versus hue. If I pull up, I will add a little bit more red to it, that is excess. If I pull down, I'll add a little bit. So you see that it's now looking more deep green sort of. So this is just choice, but at least you know what to do with each node, you know what to do with each section of this particular DaVinci Resolve color space. That is the essence of this particular tutorial we are doing. Every other thing is just a question of choice. Before, after. Next thing I want to work on is on the sky, and first of all on the saturation area, click on this blue here, and then I will just pull this up. Just look at what is happening at this section. This is before, after, before, after. So next I want to go to is to the luminance, and I will select the same space again, and what I want to do is to bring it slightly down. If I take it up, you see the effect is giving, is adding brightness to that area. But what I want to do is to bring down the brightness of that. That will help us bring out more textures in the sky. So bring back the luminance slightly, then go back to the hue versus hue, then select the same sky again. I'm going to change the hue of that sky, and you can see what we have here right now. So remember, it's always a question of choice. Before the curves, and this is after the curves. Before the curves, this is after the curves. So we're still working. Let's go into the orange and see what we can do with the oranges. So I'm going to just pull up saturation slightly. So that's the before, the after, the before, the after. Looking at where we started versus where we are right now, this is when we did our color conversion, and then we did our color correction with these 3 nodes. So after that, we now added our look. Then we now used our curves to fine-tune the look of the entire footage. So the last thing I want to do is to add some more details to this. So I will add 2 nodes. I'll name this one sharpen, then I will name this one glow. Okay, I always bring down the sharpness on my camera, so I need to sharpen it just slightly. So what I will need to do is to come to this section which says the blog section here, and under the radius here, I'll just put it slightly down to somewhere 0.48 or 0.47, and just leave it at 0.47. Okay, so and if you look at this footage, this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after. It's looking a little bit too much, so 0.48. So this is before, after, before, after. It's not so noticeable, but that is the essence of the whole thing. We want it to look as real to life as possible. Now, going to glow, I'm going to come to effects and then search for glow, and I'll drag this to this node. Then this particular glow right now, I want to add some bloom to the highlights area. So to know exactly where it's going to affect, I'll click on source regions, and then under the threshold, I will pull it down until you can see if I just leave it here now, the whole of this place is going to have that effect. So I'll just pull it up, and this is just unique to this particular footage, of course. So if I'm working on any other footage, what I'm going to do is going to definitely be a little bit different. So I think this works. Let's work with that. And if I check before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. One thing I also want to do here is to reduce the spread before the glow. This is after the glow. This is before the glow. This is after the glow. I can change that glow to something orange to mimic the sun. All right, and then I will now change it back now. You can see that it's now as if the sun is what is hitting that area. Okay, I'll just change it back to white. We've been able to take this particular DJI Mini 5 Pro DLog-M footage from this to this. Leave your thoughts in the comment section here. What do you think about this particular color grading? Is this something that you would want us to do more of? Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please help us. So hit the subscribe button and share this particular video so that more people will get to see this awesome color grading tutorial. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one.